So let's talk about the future. And 4 big questions that I believe we as a country have to answer, regardless of who the next president is or who controls the next Congress. First, how do we give everyone a fair shot at opportunity and security in this new economy? Second, how do we make technology work for us and not against us, especially when it comes to solving urgent challenges like climate change? Third, how do we keep America safe and lead the world without becoming its policeman? And finally, how can we make our politics reflect what's best in us and not what's worst?
For every American with more guts than glory, let's memorialize the moment to mention the motivations for the next life story. From guts to glory, let's find a reason for this election season and for finishing strong with the American story. Tonight, we're recognizing and recording questions like, how do we cover the economic spread to secure our state's scene and share an opportunity that allows the deserving to bypass the mean? How do we use technological advancements like cloud computing and the World Wide Web's range to help us coordinate a collective change to deal with climate change? How do we protect our people while preserving our nation's practices to demonstrate leadership and not dictatorship? And how can we reflect a reminiscent review of how and why the U.S. became the world's stormtroopers, despite historical bloopers?
Let me start with the economy and a basic fact. The United States of America, right now, has the strongest, most durable economy in the world. We're in the middle of the longest streak of private sector job creation in history. More than 14 million new jobs, the strongest 2 years of job growth since the 1990s, an unemployment rate cut in half. Our auto industry just had its best year ever. That's just part of a manufacturing surge that's created nearly 900,000 new jobs in the past 6 years. And we've done all this while cutting our deficits by almost 3/4. Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
Inquiring minds really want to know. How did we pull the economy up farther and better than a truck pulls a tow? So, let me start off by saying that America's glory has and will continue to be based upon an American success story. Fact, not fiction. Our economy is like a muscle with an enduring memory and with the proven ability to generate the longest job growth in history. Fact, not fiction. Our economy can frame 14 million jobs as a claim to fame and is proof that American actions speak louder than words to care, greater than any world's career fair, sort of reminiscent of the Clinton presidency, and somewhat foretelling of a permanent destiny. Fact, not fiction. Our economy has advertised 50% off an unemployment rate to date that still feels ooey-gooey great. Fact, not fiction. Our economy is so souped and revved up that Revlon ran a super sale on its makeup. Fact, not fiction. Our economy is responsible for another big win in the production and distribution of 900,000 reasons to clock in. Fact, not fiction. And, most importantly, our economy has nibbled down our deficit from a full meal to the 3/4 snack that would have given the next generation a heart attack. Fact, not fiction.
Now, what is true, and the reason that a lot of Americans feel anxious, is that the economy has been changing in profound ways. Changes that started long before the Great Recession hit, changes that have not let up. Today, technology doesn't just replace jobs on the assembly line, but any job where work can be automated. Companies in a global economy can locate anywhere, and they face tougher competition. As a result, workers have less leverage for a raise. Companies have less loyalty to their communities. And more wealth and income is concentrated at the very top.
To the disbeliever, why be a doubter when an American was born to become an adequate doer and dreamer? To the hater, why spread the strife that contradicts our rebuilt economic life? Either believe and board the wagon or get out of the way. Okay, either get on board of this train or get drenched from the rainmaker's rain. Okay, our economic facts are unfolding and overtaking any fiction that wants to create more friction. Yeah, the Great Recession came and went and transformed our economy from Superman down to Clark Kent, but we worked hard to repair the dent and earned enough to retain all the change that we spent. Now, we cannot complain, because we now have a rainbow because of all that sunshine, rain, and pain. However, companies in any corporate cohort should declare buyer beware and abort if they attempt to abandon the consumer and worker who's in need of more of their support. In our global economy, we must contend with the corporate want to be great, greedy and grubbish that will do anything to include being sluttish.
Companies have less loyalty to their communities, and more wealth and income is concentrated at the very top. All these trends have squeezed workers, even when they have jobs, even when the economy is growing. It's made it harder for a hard-working family to pull itself out of poverty, harder for young people to start their careers, tougher for workers to retire when they want to. And although none of these trends are unique to America, they do offend our uniquely American belief that everybody who works hard should get a fair shot.
In our global economy, families are fighting for freedom from a debt that has raised the stakes to a decreased odds of winning bet. In our global economy, eager young minds have lost their enthusiasm and opted for a career as a thug that is still in need of society's love. And in our global economy, grannies are dropping their teeth in our grocery bags because their social security benefits are the story behind their richest rags. Ruminate on this. America is filled with births and deaths on a daily basis, and we've yet to fully reward hard-working Americans regardless of their respective races, before they fall down and forever fade away in grave places. Consider this. Most Americans want a start that they can sustain before their life's finished, or their capacities diminished. Will corporate America embrace the American spirit that was once lost and now found, and say that there's still more than enough to go around?
For the past 7 years, our goal has been a growing economy that also works better for everybody. We've made progress, but we need to make more. And despite all the political arguments that we've had these past few years, there are actually some areas where Americans broadly agree. We agree that real opportunity requires every American to get the education and training they need to land a good-paying job. The bipartisan reform of No Child Left Behind was an important start. And together we've increased early childhood education, lifted high school graduation rates to new highs, boosted graduates in fields like engineering. In the coming years, we should build on that progress by providing pre-K for all and offering every student the hands-on computer science and math classes that make them job ready, on day one. We should recruit and support more great teachers for our kids.
For the past 7 years, we've worked hard to dry up tears and comfort the fears of our American peers. For the past 7 years, we've given a great amount of consideration to the young entrepreneur's passion, purpose, and destination, as well as to the retiree who's planning activities for a well-deserved vacation. For the past 7 years, we've researched our progress to attest to the fact that wisdom and knowledge are requirements for a greater occupational privilege. And for the past 7 years, we've discovered the reality that our reforms and constructs are changes that'll promote a child's vitality within the computer and math class where experts in their field should instruct.
And we have to make college affordable for every American. No hardworking student should be stuck in the red. We've already reduced student loan payments to 10% of a borrower's income, and that's good. But now we've actually got to cut the cost of college. Providing 2 years of community college at no cost for every responsible student is one of the best ways to do that. And I'm going to keep fighting to get that started this year. It's the right thing to do.
We've escalated our efforts to expand high school graduation rates from 75% to 82% and thereby increase the likelihood that a college or university is where our students will be sent. Class is in session for the ambitious to someday have a profession. Higher education should be more affordable for the enlightened and incorrigible who seek to accomplish any academic benchmark that their ancestors failed to obtain because they couldn't find it in the dark. Class is in session for the ambitious to someday have a profession. Students shouldn't have to pay to play or be burdened down by a student loan that limits them even after they're fully grown. Class is in session for the ambitious to someday have a profession. Education should be a course resource within every American community where 2 free college years motivates an intellectual discourse. Class is in session for the ambitious to someday have a profession. And education will always have to retain a revolving door policy for the laid off and fired but fired up to never give up and take a knowledgeable big gulp in the classroom or online as they sip from their coffee or teacup. Class is still in session for the ambitious to someday have another profession.
But a great education isn't all we need in this new economy. We also need benefits and protections that provide a basic measure of security. It's not too much of a stretch to say that some of the only people in America who are going to work the same job in the same place with a health and retirement package for 30 years are sitting in this chamber. For everyone else, especially folks in their 40s and 50s, saving for retirement or bouncing back from job loss has gotten a lot tougher. Americans understand that at some point in their careers, in this new economy, they may have to retool, they may have to retrain, but they shouldn't lose what they've already worked so hard to build in the process.
Medicare is whispering and Social Security is still speaking a precautionary tale as a reminder to prevent any future derail. These social welfare components should always remain strong so that we don't ever steer our societies weak and wrong. Building up basic benefits that are always willing and available to them who roam and are at home because our Jacks and Jills continue to carry their careers up hills. Share and subscribe for more updates related to this video series.